There we go. I'm sorry. Please start again when you're ready.
Okay, it is ways to beat the polygraph. I learned that in prison. Sometimes you can put a sharp object between your toes and you can kind of mash it against your skin. It allows you to feel the pain down there, and your mind will focus from what the question is around you to the pain for a few seconds while you answer the question unconsciously. Or you could put aluminum foil between your skin, and it will also throw off the lie detector test.
So, how common knowledge is it in prison that you can manipulate a polygraph test?
Well, you have people that have been through the experience, and basically the polygraph is, from my understanding, is based on your nervous reaction. You know, every time you ask a question, you know, it really responds to your reaction, your nervous reaction. Your body might twitcher, or some people may blank. But the lie detector test is, I guess, determine the nerve waves inside you or whatever. And once you stay cool and calm and think about something else, you could just think about something else, and you can just manipulate it. And just like I was saying earlier, the police knows that they can make you uncomfortable and nervous, and they can take advantage of that moment and ask you questions that they need to ask. Even though you're telling the truth, it may reflect that you're telling a lie, because your nervous system is out of whack and is causing the machine to jump. So, you know, like for my instance, at the beginning when they first turned it on, they asked me was my real name Herman Lindsey. I told them yes, and they told me the machine just went to going crazy as if I was lying.
So another thing that polygraphers do is they ask people what they call control questions. They're questions that they think everybody's going to lie to, like, have you ever lied to somebody you love? And in theory, what they do is they're comparing your answer to that question where they know you're lying to the questions that are relevant, that they want to see if you're lying to. Did you rob and, kill? Did you commit this crime? Can you remember what any of the control questions that they might have asked you were?
Most people is afraid of being arrested for something they really haven't done. So if they go to drilling you saying you're going to jail, you killed this person, this and that, and they got you believing that they actually believe that you did this, that's going to put you in a different state than a comfortable state to take a lie detector test. Because if you take a lie detector test and you're scared, you automatically not being able to adjust. The machine may adjust to it, to what they theory is the truth. Like you say, have you ever lied to somebody that you love? You may never lie to nobody that you love. You might be one of those people that has a motto that I don't lie to, but to them, the answer to that question is no. So by them comparing that answer that they theory is to the other answers, that can also throw off that lie detector test.
Okay, that's great. Do you have anything else to add?
No. If you have any more questions, I'll answer for you.
Okay, that's all I can think of. Thank you so much. Yes, all right. Please tell me about your polygraph experience. Please tell me about your polygraph test, your polygraph experience.
Well, when I was back in 1985, when I was arrested and they were ready to charge me with the murder, I asked the officers, is there any way I could take a polygraph test? So I wanted to take one, and I wanted to take one for the detectives, and I wanted to take one for my lawyers to show them that I was innocent, because there in the state of Ohio, it is admissible in court to have use the polygraph test. So they didn't ever use them in court, but I took 2 polygraph tests, and I passed both of them in Hamilton County in the state of Ohio. And I always wanted to, when I was arrested, I always wanted to, that was the first thing come to my mind. If they don't believe what I'm saying, I wanted to take a polygraph test to see, you know, to show them that I was innocent, you know. And I knew I was going to pass because I didn't have nothing to do with the crime. So I was big on that, but it didn't help my case none whatsoever because they couldn't use it in the court of law.
Why did they do it if they weren't going to do anything with the results?
I guess they wanted, if it would have been in their favor, they would have used it. If it would have been in their favor, they would have used it they probably would have brought it up in the trial or used it in my trial. But it wasn't in their favor because, like I told you, I passed.
So polygraphs are sort of notoriously inaccurate, and there are things that one of the other gentlemen was telling me that everybody knows things you can do to pass them. Do you know any of those things?
No, that I don't believe that. I heard stories like that before along the line of that nature, but I don't think so. I don't know nobody that could go up against a computer or machine or something and win. I don't know. I don't believe that one. I gotta see it to believe it. I don't know nobody that could do that. I ain't never heard of nobody doing it, but I heard of people saying people done it before, but I ain't never seen nobody do it.
Okay. How long did your polygraphs last?
It's been like, you know, I was set to die in 1985, so it's been, you know how many years that's been. It's been over 20-something years. I couldn't remember all that.
Do you remember if you experienced any physical discomfort during the polygraphs?
I remember they put no, not really. I don't feel nothing. I remember when I took the test, I was real tense, like, you know. I wasn't scared, I was excited because I knew it was going to help me because I knew I was innocent. So I didn't experience none of that.
Was it a police polygrapher who was testing you?
Yes, ma'am.
Did that not make you worry at all?
No, I wanted it. I wanted it because I knew in my heart that I was innocent, so I didn't care. I wanted to show my innocence. And that's the way I knew how to do it. I came up with one of the ideas, give me a polygraph test if you don't believe me.
Did your polygrapher tell you how accurate polygraphs are, or?
Some of that nature. He explained to me what was going on and everything, you know. And he was supposed to have been a licensed. Both of them that tested me, supposed to have been licensed. What they do, they know how to do it, you know.
And do you remember, did anything the polygrapher say to you stick in your mind?
Because it's been so long, and when I heard about your topic of what you were talking about, I remember it just crossed my mind. I took a couple of them and passed them, but I had a lot of other things in my favor that they did wrong. So I wasn't bringing up the polygraph test. I was bringing up the evidence and stuff that they withheld that could set me free, you know. Because like you say, a polygraph test, you can't use it in court. So I didn't ever bring it up because I wouldn't be able to use it, you know. So I just stuck with that, you know.
Okay. Do you think that it's possible there's bias in polygraphs, or do you think polygraphs are a tool like DNA analysis that helps reveal the truth?
I think they can help reveal the truth. If a person good at accurate at doing it, putting it together, doing a test on you, I think it could help a person prove their innocence or guilt or innocence, you know.
Okay. And would you?
I don't believe nobody could take a polygraph test by a licensed polygrapher and get away with it and lie to the polygraph and get away with it. You know, I feel that way. You know, because the way they test you, they ask you lies and truths and stuff, and they see how you react to it. And if you don't act no different, you know, it come out the way it's supposed to come out.
So there are different types of polygraphs, and it sounds like the type that you had was one where you were asked to tell a lie.
Yeah. That's the way he processed it. Yeah, that's how he started. He asked you questions that was truthful or false. And then he'd go through with the questions and ask you questions. And I passed both tests by two different guys that delivered the polygraph test.
Very interesting.
Yeah.
Would you please say just a little bit about who you are and what your experience has been?
Well, my name is Derrick Jamison, and I'm the 119th exoneree in the United States. And I was on death row from 1985 to 2005 for a crime that I did not commit, and I didn't have nothing to do with it, and I didn't know nothing about. But I wish they could have used my polygraph test in my trial, and I wouldn't have never been convicted of anything. I probably wouldn't have never been charged if they would have knew about it. You know, the courts would have been able to use it in the courts. I probably would have never been sentenced to die. You know.
Thank you. Do you have anything you'd like to add?
No, not really.
Okay. I'm curious. What evidence did help you become exonerated?
The prosecutor and detectives withheld evidence that they didn't let my lawyers know about. Basically, they withheld, like, I recently found out that they withheld 35 pieces of evidence. They withheld 35 pieces of evidence in my case. Well, this is what the guy in the newspaper article, I just did an interview with a Dayton Ohio newspaper, and the guy said he found out that they withheld 35 pieces of evidence. And I was shocked to hear something like that. You know, I knew about the witnesses, all the witnesses saying it wasn't me that they saw, and the guy, family members that said it wasn't me, and they saw somebody else, and y'all got the wrong guy. A lot of people saying y'all got the wrong guy. But, you know.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Do this.
Excellent. Okay.
Popeye and do this.
Thank you. Yes. So, tell me what your experience was with polygraphs.
Well, when I first got convicted for a crime I didn't do, my lawyer, let me back up, I'm sorry. The district attorney asked my lawyer would I be willing to follow up on the polygraph test. And I said no. Reason being is because of the fact that if the polygraph was established in terms of fairness and equality, meaning that if I take the polygraph test and whether I told the truth or a lie, the only part that the district attorney will use is the lie part. Now in terms of the truth part, he's not going to put it in my defense. So on them grounds alone, it's not based on fairness. So I recommend not going through it. Is this something else you want to know?
Yeah, this is great. So you were offered to take a polygraph and you said no on advice of your lawyer, is that correct?
Well, not only on advice of my lawyer, on the fact that it's not established where it's fair. It's about being fair. It's not about being slanted, or favoring that one side over the other. It's about being fair. It's about being true. If I took the test, polygraph test, and the truth came out, which in my case, it came out 10 years later, cool. And the district attorney used the truth towards my defense, cool. But it's not how the district attorney would like it to be. The only way how the district attorney would like it to be in reference to the polygraph test is only for it to find me lying. Therefore, he can use that towards my guilt versus the truth. If I happen to be telling the truth and the polygraph test affirms that, he's not going to use that in my defense. Or, furthermore, what they're so good for, they take the evidence that support my defense and hide it. They either hide it or they won't use it. But the only way they use the polygraph test is if I'm found to be lying. So the district attorney will have ammunition, right, that would enhance the conviction.
Would you say just a few words about who you are and what your larger experience has been
In reference to what?
in reference to being an exoneree?
Oh. Wow. Well, let me get surgical, very surgical with this. Okay? And I'm aiming at the fairness of the criminal justice system. It's very unfortunate that we live in a society in which we have a criminal justice system that's primarily motivated by conviction. It's not really based on the truth. It's not really concerned about true justice. And that is because the kind of system that's in concert with the polygraph test is that the only thing that they want to capitalize on, if you will, is a conviction. A conviction helps support their feather in the cap, or their political careers, or gaining prominent stature in the criminal justice, industry, if you will, So therefore, it's more geared towards a fabrication in terms of true justice, Plus another thing too is that they can't, it's like the news media, for example, if you will. You notice how, well, based on my experience, they show a lot of violence, a lot of negative stuff, a lot of things that, that are bad. Or for another example, take the black community. They may highlight certain events that's going on in the black community as far as some that's positive, some that's just, some that support life and the right thing to do. But unfortunately, it appears to be slanted in the area of all they want to do primarily is focus on the negative. The negative support their overall scheme of a conviction. They work hand in hand in an unseen kind of way, and they don't, media speaking, focus on the positive of their particular community and so forth. They want us to gear their direction more so on the negative. And there's a reasons for that too. That's like a wedge to further find someone guilty, or at least project the image that they're guilty, because based on what they see on TV, you know, that they primarily see on TV is the negative. So they will either subconsciously assume that I'm guilty, or they would, you know, say that, or think that, you know, well, he must be guilty because all I see on TV is, you know, the bad part of the particular community in which one resides in, you know?
Two questions I want
Sure.
to ask you based on what you just said.
Okay.
Number one is, do you think it's possible that polygraphs have in them, you know, either in the interactions between a prisoner and a police polygrapher, or in how a police polygrapher who's looking at maybe a black felon is going to interpret a polygraph chart? Do you think it's possible that there is racial bias in polygraphs?
Racial bias in polygraph. I mean, it could be, you know, used that kind of way. For example, there's racial bias on the media tip. I'm trying to get real, very, very surgical with this, okay? By the mere fact that all you see primarily in the black community, or anything exhibiting the black community, is all bad stuff. So that alone is a prelude to racist bias. This is a very scientific approach, you know, and it requires a very scientific response, you know, that will at least, you know, get to the bottom of what's really, really, really going on, you know? The next question?
The next question is, what would you say to people who argue that you can't get rid of polygraphs because maybe it's not perfect, but it's one of the best tools we have, and you can't take away one of our tools?
Okay, again, okay? If the polygraph test was based on fairness, equality, doing the right thing, I'm all out for it. However, it's not based on truth. It's based on hiding the truth when, and especially when the truth is in concert with your innocence. Therefore, he can't use it because the district attorney needs a conviction. So they are required to keep things, you know, under the hood, or keep stash, because the truth revealed itself. However, if the truth didn't reveal itself and it happened to be, you know, signaling that I'm not telling the truth, then only he will take that and use that against me. Okay, but in terms of equality, doing the right thing, making sure, you know, okay, it's quite simple. Look, if I'm guilty, use it against me. But if I'm innocent, use it against me, you know, in my defense. It's only fair, it's only doing the right thing. Why just use something against me when it's negative or support your conviction? However, on the flip side of that, when it's so that I'm telling the truth, you are not willing to use that polygraph test as evidence that will support my innocence. So that alone is a very, very, very reason why the polygraph test should be banned, because it's not based on equality. It's based on capitalism. It's based on conviction only that I can use to excel my political career, to become representative, a lawyer, a judge, anything in the higher ups in the political arena, you know, that I can use to excel in life. And this is the very, very, very unfortunate part, is that, take for example, like I was in prison a while back, for 10 years, okay? And the way they had their system hooked up is that, let's say the superintendent will come to his lower COs, correctional officers, if you will, okay? And the kind of system that they got is based on writing up tickets, getting a conviction of some sort, or writing up incident reports, okay? The system, as it currently is, needs some kind of food to feed itself, you know? And the food that it needs to feed itself is a conviction, incident reports, anything that they can use, you know, to show their superiors, right, that they are actually doing their job, because so and so got a conviction, so and so is writing up tickets, so and so, I'm talking about the corrections officers, whether we correctional officers or police officers, you know, it's all part of the same system, all the way down to the correctional officers, all the way to the district attorney's office, you know. It's based on, you know, a conviction. You know, they can't use innocence or the truth. You know, they've got to have something that they can convict. They've got to have something that says to them that, yeah, hey, we're doing our job, man, and justice works. We have the best criminal justice in this whole world. But in reality, listen, they don't have the best criminal justice in the whole world. Okay, I give you the point where, okay, well, it's the best system that we got. I give you that. But with one exception, it's not based on fairness. It's based on, to some extent, capital. It's based on not fairness. It's more based on fabrication. It is not true justice. True justice is based on wherever the merits fall, wherever you throw the merits up in the air and let it fall, and when it comes on the table, then you see what we're actually dealing with in terms of the truth, you know? Why see something on the table, you know, that supports the truth, enhances the truth, enhances that I'm saying the right thing, enhances that I'm being honest, you know, and take it off the table, you know, and don't use it at all, you know.
Could I get you to just say maybe your name and how long you were in prison?
My name is Lawyer Johnson. I've been convicted for a crime I didn't do. I was in prison for 10 years. Let me really get to the story about how the system that uses polygraph tests to get a conviction, okay? Like, in my case, I was sentenced to die in the electric chair for a crime I didn't do. Why? Because I happened to be at the wrong place at the wrong time. Meaning, I just got back from Florida, visiting my mother for the holidays, and this Commonwealth witness by the name of Kenneth Myers happens to be, you know, in the area where this crime took place. So what happened was, he was an informer. He had a working relationship with the police officers, who in return has a direct relationship with various district attorneys, and which fuels the district attorneys in terms of prosecution and so forth, okay? This particular individual, the Commonwealth witness, Kenneth Myers, was seen to commit this crime. So the police officers told him, hey, Kenneth Myers, we got eyewitnesses that saw you kill this man. In fact, laid on the first floor. And from what I understand, he said that he didn't do it. Well, they said to him, well, who did it? He said that a person named Von Simpkins did it. So when they investigated Von Simpkins did it, he happened to be already in prison in an unrelated crime. Okay? Well, let me back up a little bit, the guy that got killed was a white man, and that what happened was that, in terms of coming out later in the trial transcript, that it was like a bad drug transaction gone bad. Okay, so they said, listen, man, it appears that you're lying to us. Okay, give us a body, give us anything, and we'll take it from there. But in the meantime, if you don't give us anything based on the relationship that we got from the police officers making deals with the informer, as far as coming to court and just say, okay, wait a minute, I saw you do it. That's all you got to say. And they will take it from there. Okay? So in my case, he said that Lawyer Johnson did it. Okay? Lawyer Johnson happened to be in a nightclub with his women, having a good time and so forth, when the incident occurred and so forth, So, ironically, the 4 undercover police officers approached me and asked me, did I know anything about a murder that took place? First of all, they asked me my name, and I said, I'm sorry. They asked me my name. They said, are you Lloyd Johnson? I don't know them. They didn't identify themselves. They didn't show their badge or nothing, And if you live in the ghetto, there's like a code that if anybody that you don't know asks you your name, you don't tell you don't tell them their name, or whoever, respond to them ain't going to give you their true name, because, he might be wanting for something that's not true, or he might be trying to be, somebody's trying to set him up. So we have like a natural response as far as, not telling the truth based on that particular lifestyle that we live. Okay? However, when I said, no, that's not me, and that's me, my name, then they went in their pockets and pulled out my picture, and they said, is this you? I said, yeah, okay, that's me. Yeah, okay. What's going on, officers, man? If you would have told me from the get-go, who you were, and what you received, I would have been more, straight out with you. However, you didn't. Therefore, I hid my true identity until you pull out my picture. It's understandable. However, that was used against me to verify, if you will, my guilt. Because when they asked him my name, they said that he lied about his name. So they used that to favor a guilty verdict. But anyway, my sisters and women were kind of upset. And I assured them, it's some kind of mistake, and that, they're going to take me down the station, book me, and charge me for first-degree murder, and by the next day it'll be okay, because by the mere fact that, it wasn't me. And also I had like a Prairie Mason kind of concept. Well, if I didn't do it, man, I'd be straight and everything. So, no problem with that, So, what happened was that the next day I was in court. District Attorney stood up and said, Your Honor, this particular individual, Lloyd Johnson, was accused by an eyewitness of ours of killing this particular white man that happened to be a drug dealer, and that we charged him with first-degree murder. So they just rushed my case out the way. They said, okay, no bail. The district attorney recommended no bail. I had no bail, and they put me, in jail. And this is during the time when the school busing was going on in Boston. It was a highly racial inflamed kind of timing, if you will, okay? However, okay, let's fast forward. 6 months went by. My trial finally took place. Now, I go to court, I'm in court. Now, I'm having a jury trial. Okay? The district attorney challenged all people of color from the jury pool, okay? The only people that he didn't challenge was white men. In fact, he even challenged some white men that said that they wouldn't have no problem in rendering a fair decision based on color, that they had no problem being impartial, So the district attorney even challenged them. So what happened was this here. A district attorney, he had like a cunning, if you will, ability, right? Because he knows his own European kind of culture, in terms of racist or racial, to a racial degree, in terms of well, this one right here look like he don't like blacks, I don't like blacks either. That's just the nature of the society that we live in, okay? So I'm gonna select him, in terms of him being part of the jury, okay? So what happened was this here. He challenged all women, some white men, all blacks, okay? Where I had a jury composed of all white men that favored a lynching anti-black kind of, reality. I'm sorry, not reality. Sentiment or mentality, you know what I mean? And okay, now the trial is taking place. Okay, I got all white men on my jury. Okay. The only evidence that the district attorney had towards my guilt was the fact that I lied when the police approached me, and I thoroughly explained why I lied, because of the fact that they didn't come to me like they should have came to me. They didn't come to me telling me that they were police officers or that they were in uniform. They came to me like thugs, like, the ghetto kind of thing, just like thugs, man, come on.